Good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime Coaching. My name is Britz and I'm executive coach, trainer and international leadership facilitator hosting the Lunchtime series where we add value to people's lives happening every day at 12 o'clock on ebizradio.com. Today we have one of my clients joining us to chat more about her experiences and with the coaching process that she's going through. She has 18 years of experience in communication in both agency and corporate industries, and she's the managing director of Purple Room Consultancy. Please welcome Thandi Chaotsane-Moticoe. Is that correct?
Yay! Nicely done.
Thandi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for making the time to chat to us today. And I know that this has been one of your challenges to be more out there in the world and to tell more people about who you are, what you're doing. So to kick it off, please tell us what it is you do and who you are.
Okay, so as you said, I'm Thandi, and I'm managing director of a communications and PR agency. So our job every day is to get people to communicate better with their stakeholders. Our focus is mostly on business to business, and then across different sectors. So we do like specialties as mining, agriculture, education. So whenever two businesses need to talk to each other, we hope that they come to us.
So tell us more about about the coaching process. So I know you and I, when we started having, when we engaged about coaching, a lot of what you were, there was so much that you were going through and unclear of. And don't you want to give us some insight on what you were going through and sort of where your entry point was in having a coach and having a coach in your world?
Yeah, so you were not my first, I'd done this before. I came out of a very bad marriage, and there was a life coach that helped me out of it. And then I ended the session because I thought, okay, the goal was to get out. Then I started my own business, and then I was a single mom, and it just went pear-shaped. But again, I'm very good at keeping it okay here. But the background, I was in turmoil, and hence I was having a conversation with one of your clients, and I was like, I'm struggling with this life business, right? And he was like, dude, there's a guy, I know a guy. And then he referred me to you. And then we came to you, and I came and I said, it helped me figure this thing out, I couldn't pinpoint what it was. And then that's the problem. I'm like a solutions person. I can go into a business and tell them, this is your challenge. Now having, and I think that's another thing, is you helping me identify where the problem was. I was just going around. I couldn't come to somebody and say, this is, I didn't know. I knew something was wrong. I just didn't know what it was. And hence we ended up coming to you, or I ended up, we like multiple personalities, and then I ended up coming to you.
So in terms of, because I know that when we we're not going to go into the detail of it, but because there was that unclarity. What do you think were some of the key takeaways of going through this coaching process? And I mean, we've been working together on and off because I know you're busy and we have to meet schedules. But in this process for the last couple of months, we have gone through some clarification and really getting our brains wrapped around where it is, what it is you want to do. And you've made some life-defining choices in the last...
Dude, look what I'm doing now.
I remember you, the challenge was get out there and put yourself out there. And one of the things that you did was being on the panel for one of the panels that you spoke on, and I mean it's little things like that you've actually started putting out there and taking
Yeah.
So don't you want to speak to us more about what you got out of this?
Okay, so we need this is, if anything, don't edit this bit out. All right.
Yes. Okay.
People don't get. I've been speaking to people. And everybody thinks that they're the only ones who are not getting it right. And they're not asking for help. And what I got when I started talking to you is that there is no manual to this life business. And we might look like we have it together, guys. There's a lot of crazy happening out there that people get like, if anything, everyone needs a life coach, you know. So I got the sense that I took out, not that good I said, I got to a place where it was okay that I was feeling like this, but I don't have to feel like this all the time. There is help. Then the other one, I had to then be nice. You gave me the confidence to be kind to myself, right? And now I'm like, I've done 6 interviews. I'm not like, everybody, oh, you're going to do this interview? Sure, I'll come do it. And then, and then I don't worry that the Google, and I think that's another thing I got over myself. You know, you said, I keep telling people this, like, you said something to me one time that I get ahead of myself. Like, everything, I kept thinking the problem was with this, the problem was that. The biggest problem was me. And then when you removed me out of my own way, then I'm like, you know, like sometimes when somebody requests, I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, no, I cannot not say that. I'm going to go do it. And then I go do it. You know, I get up in the mornings and some days are crazy. Like we got 2 of our proposals declined, right? And then you're like, my God, is this business ever going to grow? But you get up and you're like, then, you know, Kevin said it's not the right one. With that said, 2 days ago, I could have possibly hung myself. It's not moving. It's not happening, right? Now I know that it's life. There's no's and there's yes, right? Putting myself out there. I joined our resident committee, I'm a committee member. Yes, I'm an active participant in life. I do things like that now. Went into a meeting, met this wonderful group of people. 2 days later, I've been referred to possibly one of the biggest clients we're going to have.
Wow. Hey.
Yeah. So the doing and getting into this life business and actually doing it sanely, has.
Yeah.
Like I want to tell you honestly, and I know we don't speak as much, and you're probably thinking like, oh my God, I did nothing for that girl. I swear, it's the level of peace. I think it's another thing that people, if anyone must ever get a coach. And for me, that's why I said to you, this is not an end. I need the check-ins. Because you forget, you know, the life gets into its thing, and then you forget that, oh my God, there was a reason, you know. So I like the check-ins. I like the fact that you check in on me and see, okay, how you doing.
And one of the things that you mentioned that I think so many people struggle with is getting out of your own way. You know, like you get so caught up in that rat race, you get caught up in.
This is not the time.
I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do here. And the moment you get your brain reframed slightly, stuff started, you know, stuff changed and started happening. Was that quite significant for you in how that reframing happened? How you got out of your own way?
It's crucial. You know, I watched one sermon where the guy was saying there's nothing as wonderful as like a changed mind. It just and it sounds like it's the most simplest thing to say, right? But to change your mind about something, especially something that you've lived your whole life believing, I'm not good at it, I'm incompetent, I haven't done that, this is wrong. And then when you have to change your mind about it, you're like, what the hell, what do you mean? Like, are you saying that I'm enough? You know, are you saying I'm confident? Are you saying I can do it? What nonsense is this Kevin Britz talking about? You know, he doesn't know anything. Let him get out of here. You know, and then you do, and then you start like peace. I don't know if you know that there's this sound, and I even used to Google it, like where you go, and like I used to have that, and I never, like, it was the most constant thing in my life, right? But it was like I was always entering into some horror movie, you know, like waiting for something to happen that's bad. Now I actually wait for something good to happen. That's the thing. My life now, I'm just working hard, and I'm just like, that is going to work out. This is going to work out. It's the most craziest thing. I'm probably high on something. I don't know, but it's the changed mind. It is.
In terms of I know that one of the things that we spoke about was finding your North Star. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
And really just focusing on where you're going. And I remember we spoke about what you will sit up with and what you won't sit up with, and using your North Star to kind of guide that. Don't you want to just touch on your version of that?
So, because I'm a people pleaser. Remember, I've moved around, lived around, so I've always found myself tolerating things, right? But like small, tiny, even like some big ones and some small ones, that just became a habit and a way of engaging. And I remember I just recently had a conversation, I think it's probably a month or so back, and someone said something to me, right? In most circumstances, it would have been fine because yes, I was wrong and stuff like that. And I take it, I was wrong, but but the way they spoke to me, I was like, nah, that cannot be. Sorry, like we're gonna get to the problem. I see the problem. Can we address this? So I'm like now asking people to like, you do understand that I'm a grown adult. Speak to me in that way. I've also stopped then taking on the childlike role in the relationships where I'm, because I think people treat you the way you treat yourself. And I hadn't realized that it was that. So now in understanding, the North Star turns out is be adult, grow up, so, and that's it. And then now when you are grown up, and like I was saying to you earlier about that sense of self-worth, you then kind of start like, nah, I don't like that. I was saying to Larry, there's nothing as powerful as no. You can say no to things. I didn't know I can say no to things. I can say no. No, okay, I don't want to do that. No, it's the best thing ever. The word no, I saved my life. Saved my life. I can look at people like, nah, I'm not doing that.
And in terms of
but you wouldn't know if you didn't have a focus. You wouldn't know how to say no and what to say no to.
And have you noticed as well, because you've been able to empower yourself and you really start understanding your worth, you be able to establish a boundary. Don't you find that because of the boundary, there's part of your own confidence and your own way that you start showing up? It kind of goes, wow, this is so much different.
Oh, why haven't I been doing this?
For 40 years of my life.
Like God, wasted on these humans. But the upside, like we say, there's the next 40. And I think if anyone wants to live the next period of their lives, like get a life coach, because then you just want to look forward to it. And your plans are real. I was a very long time where I planned for death, right? Now I plan for living. Like when we speak, I'm like, I say stuff like when I'm 80, I'm like, 40 years. but there's so much that needs to be done in that 40 years. So it doesn't feel like that long. I'm even thinking, my God, I need another maybe 5 more, 10 more, but it just gives you a purpose. You almost want to want to do the thing you do, put goals. When people used to put life goals, I used to look at them like, what goal is this?
What's this thing? Yeah.
Let's just get through today. Even this morning is fine. That's my goal, to just get through this morning. But now, you see, the next 10 years, I want to be here. I want to do this. I started looking at 60-year-olds and stuff, and they're not old. At first, people used to say, "Oh, she was so young, died at 60." I'm like, "Hey, she's 60. Like, how young? Like, what is your definition?"
Exactly.
Like, now I'm looking at it. I'm like, yeah, when I'm 60, people do this. I'm like, oh, that's what they meant. That's why people at 60, 60 is no longer an old age. It's like something like I'm still going to be functioning at. I hope it was.
That's amazing. So if you had to give anyone advice out there and say, guys, this is why you need a coach, what would your advice be? Because I believe that everybody has a coach. I have a coach. I have a few, actually. I'm constantly wanting to learn and understand. What advice would you give to people out there contemplating about getting themselves a coach?
Do it. Just get one. Like, you know what? And it doesn't even mean you're crazy. Or maybe a little bit crazy. But I think everybody's crazy out there, right? I don't think people know or understand what a tall life takes on you. And a life coach is, there's people like you have friends. I get it. You have friends and you can talk, and then it's like, oh, you start saying, oh, I'm having a bad day. You will not believe the day I'm having, and then it starts being our thing. When you have a life coach, actually, I'm just someone who's like sitting and listening to you, and not telling you about their problems also, because I don't care. Can we talk about mine? I'm going to do my thing. So best part is that you have someone that actually helps you, listens, but also I like the thing, the life coaching better than the psychiatry or whatever the thing is, because you actually get to talk back. You don't expect me to figure it all out. And this is the thing I used to find annoying about psychiatrists. Like, I'm paying you to identify where I'm going. I don't want to
please say something. Yes.
and figure it out by myself. Help me figure it out. And that's the thing. Life coaches help you figure it out. And I remember I was saying something to someone about you, when I was talking to a friend of mine about you, and I said, like, I like your ability to step back. I can come to you and it's this big, right? And you look at it like, no, darling, it's this big. Like, just come down, come here, same forest. It's
yes.
Yeah. So I like that. And I know we're making fun, but I wish they would have seen the before Thandi and the now Thandi. Like this joking around still existed, but it really, like, there was no depth to it. It was really shallow and empty.
And remember, I mean, I know that you were in quite a depressed sort of dire state. COVID just happened, and business was hard, and in a couple of sessions, you really, like, it became. And I remember you actually saying about your one presentation that you kept putting it off, and like, and I was like, no, you have to get that done. Get it done this week, and you did, right?
Yeah.
And you followed up with them, and suddenly they were like, oh yeah, they just forgot about it. Can we get it sorted, right? Taking little steps and getting those little actions behind it. So the flip side of where we came from to where you're now, it's like night and day, right?
It's really, the world is not out there to get me. You'll be surprised. Not everything that people are doing. And my ex-husband used to say, this song is not about you. And I get so angry because this song was about me. This song is not about me. This must never be shared with them. But, you then realize, like, I had a client that went quiet again very recently. And I was like, I wanted to go into, oh my God, what have we done? Is there something wrong? And it turns out the guy just left him, right? He was on holiday and has been gone for 2 weeks. So, see, that's that thing. So I'm glad that even life is also teaching me that it has nothing to do with you. But what you taught me is to not act on the first instinct and the first belief and first insecurity. And that's the thing. I think you put it on one of the groups. Don't speak when you're happy. Don't promise. All of that. So that's pretty cool. I really like that. Don't make decisions based on a feeling, right? Just like look at the fact. Just like what are the facts here, and then act. Because normally, my God, Kevin, did you see he muted me? He didn't like me. Oh, Kevin hasn't responded to me in 6 weeks. Oh, he's like, it's gonna. And I was like, okay, just calm down. Maybe Kevin has this thing called other clients. It has nothing to do with you, And also, if you want to talk to Kevin, why don't you call him? It's that simple. Just like it sounds simple, but when people have people like you in their lives, it just starts becoming simple. I was saying this girl yesterday. I'm like, went out for lunch, and she's quitting a job because whatever. And it's this typical thing about women on women hating each other. And it's like, that narrative has to stop, right? And she's like, no, it's the truth. I said, no, they're terrible people. Male, female, white, black. She could be the terrible person. It has nothing to do with the woman on woman violence. It has nothing to do with that she's white or you black. Nothing. She could just be a complete horrible human being, and that's it. Don't perpetuate this narrative because you are of a feeling and something that you heard. You need to change your mind. And she was like, oh, and then I was like, wow, I would have, cool, thanks, But I think the thing, once you are able like you were talking about the North Star. Once, then you can identify and say, no, that's not true. No, I could have left it. I could have gone home. I could have left her feeling like that. But now I'm hoping I left her with maybe I was wrong. Maybe I need to relook at this thing. There's another one I wanted to share with you. I saw it on Dave Chappelle's show, and it's an elephant effect. Or when you're too close to the elephant, you can't see the actual elephant. I'll send it. It was so cool, and that's the thing. And that's what he summarized he helped me go back, see the elephant. Oh, there's the trunk, there's the thing. Oh, okay. And it's an elephant, so nothing to do with it. It's like, okay, cool. And then you move on, So I don't know if it's top 3 things, but that's what I got out of this thing. And I would encourage others to do, because that's what you get.
It's been such a pleasure working with you, because we have such good times, and even the moments where I've challenged you and you've outright said, Kevin, I just don't want to do that. It's not going to happen. I don't like it. And I think because we have that that kind of relationship, and I think that's really what coaching should be about. Your coach should be someone who's on your team. And another case of guy going, oh yeah, let me just tell you all the things that you're doing wrong, because that's really not my business. That's not my point. That's not the inevitable point here. But I think it's having someone on your side, having someone on your team, and the fact that you're starting to recognize it from other conversations. You're going into a lunch meeting with someone, and you hear that narrative that people can get so quickly stuck on, that debilitates their moment, that really just drives them into a whole different frame. And you're kind of going, no, I can see that stuff, and how that used to be part of my world. But the moment you get it, you kind of go, yeah, I get it, right? It's so beautiful, and it's so beautiful to witness you now, where you're this person.
When people ask what is my relationship status, I said my relationship status with myself is not complicated. It's not complicated at all. I got up this morning and I was dressing for this, and instead of, oh my God, I need to look at that, I was like, nah, I'm gonna wear that shirt, and I'm gonna wear those pants, and then I'm gonna go do it. I wasn't worried about, oh my God, the 10 million people who are going to see this, and I'm gonna need to look up, my braids are not neat. Okay.
Yes.
So I was watching this Dave Chappelle thing as well, and he said, it's you who clicked on the link. Understand? You are the one who wants me. I've stopped also performing for you. This is it. You get this? And that's the thing when you were saying what I learned, right? And I wanted to be something that everybody liked. And it was like it's schizophrenic. Because I have
tiring,
I have so many people in my life. I'm like, my God, I was just like, I finally even walked out of that relationship. And I said, actually, this person here, I'm not this person. I will never be this person. I am trying, and the only person who's failing, and the only person who's trying to be something else is me, and not you. So I was like, you know what? And then we ended up on good terms. I just said, listen, I just need to be me for a second. I'm tired, So when people meet me now, this is it. When there's my bio on LinkedIn. If you don't do work with me, that's what you are getting. I don't have PhDs from wherever. I don't have masters from, that's what I have. You can either come here and work, and if you don't want to, it's also cool. But I'm not performing anymore. I'm not. I'm done.
I've been doing some training with at a business school, and one of the conversations we were having was resilience, and part of the training. We eventually got to, I think I may have shared this with you, Lisa Nichols saying, don't make me the superhero in your world because you're too lazy to be one, right?
Thank you.
And when I look at you now and I'm going, you are the superhero of this story, right? It's like you've literally taken it by the balls and kind of went, I'm going to make this happen. And whether you like me or not, I know my North Star. I know where I'm going. And I get to define my life. Right?
I'm good. That's me. You get on board or you don't. But it's also okay. I was saying to a friend of mine, the guy next door benefited from your work. Okay. Because now I'm doing the stuff that you're doing on my kids. Right. So when we are fine, I'm swimming, and my son wants to swim, but I'm always motivating and encouraging him. And like one of the things I said, the biggest thing here, challenge you're dealing with here is fear. I remember you saying that to me, like, there's two outcomes. It's a yes or a no. So, like, whether you do it or not, that you will never know which outcome it is. And then you're sitting paralyzed here and not moving, right? So now I do it. I go in knowing there's two possible options. It's a yes or a no. If it's a no, we move in. So yes, we move this direction. That's it. But to sit here and not do anything about it is terrible. It creates that anxiety. So I'm sure that guy sitting there is like, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna go, yes, I'm gonna because he works from outside, So I'm always thinking about, my God, she's a motivational speaker somewhere. Back at the ranch, I'm stealing your work and using it on other people. Yeah.
Share it. Okay, so the last thing I want to ask is, what is the future looking like for you? I know that you and I, we've got some, we're doing we're catching up on our coaching sessions when we can schedule it. But what is happening for you? What is your future looking like? Where are we going with Thandi?
So, I mean, we're going to decide that during our coaching session. Can you just wait? We just barely got into this one. Now we're doing like 5-10 year plans. What's wrong with you? I think for me, Kev, it's to continue this. Like there's situations and things outside, and as much as you try, shake as many people off or as many situations off as you can, there will still be things that come your way. So I like having the you to say, listen, what's happening? Are we there? But I think the future now is like one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is that we're going through a lot of restructuring at the business, right? And I'd like some help with that. I find now that we've dealt with the personal ones, there's a pattern I'm creating at work. I'm experiencing exactly the same things. And a friend of mine was saying to me, then the common denominator in all of this is you. Because this is, and because this business needs to grow, I need to identify what that pattern is. I see. There's a mess, I know, but I don't know, like when I came in with myself, I know there's a mess. I just don't know what is the mess and how to fix it. So that's where now we need to step into, because I need to sort that out. I need to sort that out so that we have a growth plan for the next. And the team is great, people are dedicated, but there's something that's just not, and I don't want to say it's
figure it out.
I just need to figure it out. Because I keep implementing the same solution. It cannot possibly be like, do you understand? It's a pattern, but we'll discuss that when we next week.
Okay, and then if you could leave everyone out there with a sort of a summary and a takeaway for what we chatted about today, and why it would be great for them to do a coaching, sessions or take up this as an important part of their lives. What would you leave three key attributes to, or points that you'd like to make?
Three. Okay, 3 things. It's the peace of mind, right? That quietening of that noise. And I didn't realize how many people have that noise going through. I even Googled it, right? It's the peace of mind. It's the ability to then live with yourself. There's nothing as horrible as being stuck with someone you don't like, Yeah. And then when that person is you.
It's hard, eh? I know how that feels.
Yeah. And I'm like, we're joking about it, but it's actually like I didn't even think about it until you said that now. It's being able to, it's that peace of mind, it's the ability to like the person that you are, and the ability to then say it no. For me, those are my 3 things. Like, I am, irrespective of whatever happens elsewhere and anything else, let me deal with anxiety. Like I keep looking outside, right? And I keep looking at my house. And for a very long time, I used to think I'm going to lose this. I'm going to lose this. I'm going to lose this. This is not mine. I'm going to lose it. So they come crashing down. I don't have that anymore. I don't have that. So I'll give you the 4th one. It's the anxiety goals as well. Yeah, you are at
so
peace.
beautiful.
Yeah. That's it for me.
Thandi, if anybody wants to get hold of you, I mean, I know that you're doing some PR for some really major brands.
Yeah.
You have, I mean, if I look at your CV online, I'm like, damn, like she's worked with some really important people.
Hey, like somebody was asking me that, I like, I really got myself like, who are you talking about? Oh yeah, that is me. So now
Yeah.
I'm starting to recognize myself. Yeah, please come to our website. It's a prconsultancy.co.za. You can find Thandi Chaotsane-Moticoe on LinkedIn. The company name is Purple Room Consultancy. So check us out there, and please do contact us. I mean, if anything that we saw through COVID, and all the incidences with the clicks and stuff like that, it's like you need to have people on your side.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you need, like, if anything, COVID taught us that communicating with people is important. Getting people to know who you are, what we do, and I really think we're really good at it, and we'd like to work with you.
Fantastic. Thandi Chaotsane-Moticoe.
Oh wow!
I was.
No, don't do that. We were doing so well.
What is it? Do it again.
Thandi Chaotsane-Moticoe. But also,
There we go.
I could also make life a little bit simple for people, but no.
Yeah, it makes life interesting, right?
Yeah.
Thandi, thank you so much. Thank you for spending some time with me, and I will share this out, and all the information that you mentioned, it will be in the description box below, and all the links to your website and your LinkedIn page and all of the above. Awesome. Thank you for sharing and for being open with us and willing to share, and thank you for the time. I'll chat to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Ciao, ciao.